Hello children, welcome one and all to my channel. Now 10th standard board examinations are around the corner. Hardly you have a month or so remaining. Keeping this in mind, I am going to upload a series of videos in my channel which will help you to sharpen and revise your skills in social science, especially in history and democratic politics. To begin with, let's start with the chapter power sharing. So in the chapter power sharing, you need to know the subtopics. The subtopics are what is power sharing, types of power sharing, case studies, uses of power sharing, and the two types of power sharing, namely moralistic and prudential. Right. As far as examination is concerned, you need to be very careful when you answer multiple choice questions. There is a tendency on our part to think that questions related to chronology, that is years, may not appear in civics. That may not be always correct. For example, in this chapter, there are some questions which might appear. You might be asked to pick out the year in which Sri Lankan government passed an act in the parliament by which Sinhala became the official language. The next one is the year in which Sri Lanka got independence. So these are some of the questions which are important. Then questions which begin with what are also important. And questions which begin with the word where. For example, where is the headquarters of the European Union situated? The answer is Brussels. There is one question in this chapter which is slightly complicated. The word majority and minority appears one after the other, which sound more like a tongue twister. So for that question, you have to be very careful. The Dutch-speaking community constitute majority in Belgium, in other parts of Belgium, whereas in the capital city, the French-speaking people constitute the majority. As far as this question is concerned, you have to be very careful. Let me explain to you the concept of checks and balances, because in the book, there isn't sufficient explanation for this. Let me give you an example for checks and balances. It comes under the horizontal form of power sharing. Okay. If one organ of the government is at fault, the other organ comes into picture. For example, let's say the Parliament of India passes a law which is against the basic spirit of the Constitution. In that case, judiciary comes into picture. This is what is called the concept of checks and balances. Let me give you an example to make you understand this. The founding fathers of Indian Constitution have introduced this principle to ensure that no organ enjoys unlimited powers. The example which I can think of is this. Let's say in a family there are two children, the younger child as well as the elder one. Okay. The mother wants to go to a nearby grocery to get some vegetables. The mother will tell the younger one to have an eye on the elder one. The mother would tell the elder one to have an eye on the younger one. The mother would not stop with this. The mother would also tell the neighbors to have an eye on both the kids. I'm not expecting you to quote this in the examination as an example. I have given you this example to make you understand the concept of checks and balances. See you again with yet another video.